Hey, Aries, intuitive soul coach here with your September 2022 full moon reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. Today we'll dive into the collective energy of Aries and take a look at the full moon that lands on September 10th in the sign of Pisces has in store for you. Just a friendly reminder, Aries, these are general readings. Please do take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or even entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right, Aries. So this full moon on September 10th in the sign of Pisces lands in your 12th house of closure, transition, and healing. Also, Mercury will be in retrograde at that time around the full moon. So we'll take a look at where your energy is currently at, what you're focusing on manifesting at this time, how we can help you navigate through retrograde. We'll take a look at your untapped gifts, messages from spirit and your higher self, how you've grown, and lastly, action steps that you can take to help you continue on your soul's journey. So right away, Aries, we have Aquarius, Capricorn, and Pisces energy, which it says full moon in Pisces, which is the full moon here coming up. So right away here, now you may have these placements in your chart, Aries. You may be dealing with others that have these placements, or you're just embodying the energies altogether. But it says reflect on your priorities. And with Mercury in retrograde, I always like to say, retrograde, R-E for retro, but also all of the R-E words such as reflect, reorganize, reevaluate, reprioritize, but most importantly, relax. And don't try to control the outcome, more so of going with the flow here, especially when it does come to your healing. You can't necessarily speed up healing. And you can't you can prolong it, you can speed it up, but usually healing, there's a process here that it takes time. I also feel like you are going through a major transition, whether it's in your career, Aries, whether it is in your health, or whether it is in relationships here, because there is closure. So I feel like you are ending one thing and starting another. So it may seem a little bit rocky at times, but reflecting on your priorities are going to keep you moving forward in a positive direction here. Next, you have Capricorn energy, which says take a reality check. So this is about you just taking a step back at this time and looking again at the things that are most important to you, the things that bring the most happiness to you, and also taking a look back and see what has worked, Aries, for your health, your relationships, your career goals, for your mental. They're giving me mental health for some of you. What has worked and what has not? Because I feel like you are moving forward and your soul is evolving at a very rapid pace, Aries. However, you are going through a transition at this time. So when we go through transition, sometimes we feel like we get stuck between worlds. It's almost like the past and the future. We get stuck not so much in the present, that's where we want to stay, but we may get stuck a little more on focusing on the past or too much in the future. So I feel now you're going through that transition where you're trying to figure out the balance, and you're trying to figure out how to maybe forgive yourself, forgive another person, or forgive an experience that had happened in the past. So we're going to dive in here. We're going to use the Muse Tarot, one of my favorites. I just love the coloring. And by the way, any of you that are interested in the decks used during your reading, or any that you see above, you can find all of that information in the description box below. All right, so we're just going to take a look here and see where your energy is at around this moon. We have the Ace of Cups, beautiful. Ace of Emotions. We also have the Four of Swords, which is the card about healing, which I really like showing up for you because your 12th house is activated in the healing sector here. We also have the Eight of Material, which is the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Materials, Page of Pentacles. So you're definitely on the right track here. You know that you're moving forward, and I feel like you are reflecting on the things again that have worked for you, but you're not sitting in the grief, you're not sitting in the pain. You're forgiving something once and for all, and this could be yourself as well, Aries, and you're letting it go and moving forward with triumphant success. They just gave me the Chariot energy, Cancerian energy here. So right away, Ace of Cups. This can be about self-love. It can be about you filling your own cup first in a situation. For others of you, this is a new love connection. It could be about the gift of love, relationships that are filled with grace and inspiration and gratitude. It's also about you moving towards maybe a passion, a career, a lifestyle that brings emotional wealth to you as well. Because sometimes we get really busy with our routine or our day-to-day life, or we let the mental side of our emotions kind of really control the outcome, and that sometimes isn't the best thing for us, Aries. So I feel like you're opening yourself up to something completely new and completely different, because you're ready to close the door on something that maybe it was painful to you. It could have been difficult. It could have been a chapter of your life. Whether, again, it was health, career, relationships, a move, a relocation, or a difficulty with a family member as well. Some of you, this could even be a child or a student moving out of the house or going off to college, or it could be new family members that are joining the family, whether it's through birth or whether it's through marriage. Four of Swords, you're healing. This is the perfect time for you to have a little R&R time, rest and retreat. It's a time for self-love, renewal, rejuvenation, to take a little break and go with the flow versus setting the expectations or trying to control the situation, because the only thing, Aries, that you can control is your own emotions and your own feelings here. And this is about you not overworking, overthinking, or ignoring the signs of rest. Or even in the past, you may have obsessed about a certain person, situation, behavior, pattern. Again, because I'm getting that mental energy quite strong for you, Aries. But this is time for you to close that chapter and move on to the next part of your life, which I really love. It looks to be quite creative, quite successful here for you as well. And it tends to open your heart up to just that soul quenching renewal that sometimes we forget how big our hearts are. Sometimes we lead with that logical or analytical mind, and we tend to block ourselves or self-sabotage at times, but not you, Aries. You are fully moving forward. Even if you stumble a few times and land on your head, I feel like you're rolling. They're actually showing me like a somersault. I feel like you are landing on your feet. And even if you felt like you've rolled forward in the past, I feel like you are standing up. You're coming up on top of a situation here that may have felt difficult. Eight of Materials is about you mastering your craft. This is about you putting in your best effort, loving the work that you do. If you are in a job or were in a job, I sense that you are opening yourself up to emotional fulfillment. I feel like you are climbing that creative ladder, that inspirational mindset here, and you're continuing to make waves. They're showing me ripples in the water here. So whatever you're doing, it has that ripple effect that reaches not just a few people, but many. It could be hundreds, it could be thousands, it could be millions. So whatever you're doing here has that ripple effect. I mean, you could be doing creative work, teaching work, spiritual work. It's very fortuitous here for those that are in the arts, music, education, design, or again, creative arts. But I feel some of you may be holistic practitioners, or you're heading on that spiritual path here, or you may be creating or making something. For others of you, you may be working. I'm just seeing they showed me GoDaddy. So some of you may be creating a website, or you may be working with someone to help you create a website, or for you to market your business or your passions here. I feel like you're really on top of the game here this month. The Eight of Pentacles is about dedication. It is about gaining additional knowledge. Even though you're mastering whatever this is, you will continue to master your whole life here in this lifetime. Even if you are top notch, on your game, the best of the best here. There's always room to grow, expand, and learn, Aries. And this is you maybe even setting yourself out for a new course, workshop, or new material here that's going to help your business or help your career grow. If this is a relationship, you're learning about yourself. You're learning about what sabotages, shadows, or triggers that you've dealt with in the past so you don't repeat those same lessons. And that's what I was feeling here in the beginning, where you may be looking at taking note or learning some lessons that have worked for you and what has not. Because your final energy here is Page of Materials, Page of Pentacles. This is about you manifesting new financial or physical opportunities. It could be a new home, a new business, a new office space. It could be a new living arrangements. It could be even, they just showed me, a brick and mortar type of location that may have other offices in this specific location. So I don't know if this is maybe for photography, it could be for massage, it could be for healing work, it could be for artwork, but you may be joining with other people or other energies or even other office spaces as well. If you're looking for a new space, that may be something that comes up for you. For others of you, this is a new job opportunity. If you've been putting your resume out there, you may get a call back, because I feel like you are moving forward here. And October is going to bring in that that brand new energy of new beginnings for you. And I feel like it's going to start in September for you, but October is really the go month, is kind of what I'm sensing for you here. So I really like this showing up. It's also going to be about teamwork and group effort and collaboration. So the Page of Pentacles here, some of you may be getting an investment idea that comes to fruition, a financial win, a check. This could be a message regarding money, job, career, or something that helps you along your path. So I love this for you. I feel like you will be manifesting this new opportunity. This is about you focusing on this win. And I feel like it has to do with the financial, the material, the prosperity, or even healthy body, mind on that physical. Some of you may be healing from a surgery, an illness, or even some of you may have had a cast. They're showing me not so much the hard type of cast. Some of you may be, but I feel like it's kind of like that ace bandage may have been wrapped around either a knee, an ankle, or an arm, where you may be taking that off because something is healing as well. So I like this showing up for you. Now, your fullest potential here, your greatest strengths, we're going to dive into. Let's just see what are your untapped spiritual gifts at this time. So untapped is something that you're starting to tap into, but maybe you haven't fully integrated. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. Yes, Queen of Cups energy. So you're starting to tap into the energy of your deep, deep emotions. And some of you may be thinking, Melissa, I am too emotional. That's the opposite. It certainly can be, but when we tap into the emotions here, what I'm getting, especially from this card, whenever the Queen of Cups shows up, she doesn't look that happy about what's in her cup. She actually looks to be a little bit disheveled, disappointment, or a little aloof, pouring out what's in her cup, because what may have been in her cup in the first place wasn't necessarily growth or fueling her soul. And that's kind of what I'm sensing here for you, is that you are finally ready to fill your cup. Ace of Emotions. You're ready to put into the cup things that nurture you, help you grow. So she kind of looks like a zombie here. So some of you are focusing on your vitality, and your health is very important. Emotional health, especially coming up here. So you're tapping into new things that bring about joy, happiness, forgiveness, especially if you have been feeling like a walking zombie here. They're just showing me that some of you definitely are a queen. You've definitely matured, Aries, in a lot of sense. So whether you are female or male, it doesn't matter here. The Queen of Cups gives great advice. She's very supportive. She's extremely intuitive. She could be a psychic, a tarot reader. a nurse, a psychologist, a coach. She's in the caring profession because she cares for other people. Whether this is your energy, which I feel like it could either be yours, where you're tapping into that maternal, loving, nurturing side, or whether you are seeking out help from someone else that fits this description to kind of help you be able to tap into those emotions a little bit more. This month, if you've been feeling like a zombie or feeling like you want to get in touch with that inner nurturing self, you're heading straight towards that. So I love this for you. Let's take a look at your greatest strengths. What can you not only capitalize on, possibly, but use to your advantage? The moon, which is beautiful. I love when the moon's showing up here for you because this is about you being able to gain clarity, trust your intuition, and trust your subconscious to lead you forward. This can be about those deep emotions. And we're doing a moon reading here. So pay attention to the energy around the full moon on the 10th here in the sign of Pisces, because I feel like you're having clarity. There's truth showing up here. There is deep dreams. You may have really deep dreams around this time, but I feel like whatever difficulties you've had, you may be having a deep release during your sleep. Some of you are really astral traveling. Some of you are dreaming of things that have happened 5 years ago. And now, whether it was a good memory or a negative memory here, you may be dreaming about the past. Some of you may be dreaming about people who have crossed over as well. They may be coming in to give you messages. They may say nothing at all. You may be just thinking through, telepathy. But the moon is going to reveal a lot of hidden things about yourself, about others, but also about your path moving forward. Take this as a beautiful opportunity for closure, because full moons can be about release. They can be about healing and moving from one cycle to another. So your greatest strength is around this full moon energy, but also about trusting in your own self. So very powerful stuff here. Some of you are going to be highly psychic, highly intuitive around this time. So you may notice that your intuition is on point. Even if you felt in the recent weeks prior or the months prior that maybe you felt a little bit not in tune with your intuition, or if you've just felt a little bit, again, scattered, foggy, or like a zombie, I feel like your intuition is really heightened. So if you are a light worker, or if you do care for or teach others, or if you do spiritual work, around this full moon is the perfect time to either capitalize or to help other people heal, which in return helps you heal. When we heal the world. Beautiful energy here. We're going to take a look and see what messages Spirit has for you, along with your higher self. What does your higher self want you to know? But also what messages are coming in from your loved ones, your guides, your ancestors, your angels. We're just going to get a couple of cards here from the spirit messages before we dive into the soul truth. We have ground yourself. Yes, especially when this full moon is happening here. It's very important to ground our energy, because we can get into that spacey type of fog where at times it feels like you just want to float away. It says being distracted, unfocused, tired, irritated, and impatient are all signs that you're ungrounded. Now is the time to become centered and allow spirit to help you ground yourself and reconnect with the divine source. Ways to ground. I mean, you can go up to a tree, sit underneath a tree. You can see here, you can do meditations where you imagine your feet as roots going deep into the earth. You can work with crystals for grounding. You can use onyx. You can use obsidian. You can use even kyanite as well. So you can work with grounding crystals. You can eat foods that come from the ground. Root vegetables especially can help you ground. Doing everyday tasks or mundane things such as, cleaning the toilet, organizing the closet, replanting your flowers, or doing work that has to do with the soil or the dirt or Mother Earth can help you ground yourself into the now. So if you do find yourself wanting to kind of reflect on the priorities, but if you do need to take that reality check, Aries, ground your energy. Spirit will really help bring that renewal back into your heart and your soul here. We have give back, and that's what I was talking about. Your greatest strength here is for you to bring clarity, not just to your life, but the lives of others. Today is the day to cast aside normal routines, yes, and make your main purpose to serve. It's about giving back without any thoughts or expectations or getting anything in return. Reach out and touch other people's spirits, as it's highly likely that someone needs it today. They're giving me an infinity symbol, infinity, they're showing me 8s. Now, some of you may be seeing that infinity symbol more often. You may be seeing something that looks like an 8 as well. Please take that as it resonates. I feel like it may be coming up for you if it hasn't already within the next 2 to 4 weeks. I mean, these readings are good for 2 to 4 weeks out after the full moon here. You may be still feeling the effects, and especially because we are tuning into Mercury retrograde as well. But what they're showing me is not only are you giving back, the universe is giving back to you. You've put out some really good karma. I feel like you've been working on yourself and you've done good onto others. And I feel like that's coming back around, kind of like that horseshoe as well, or a boomerang. What you put out there, it's kind of ringing back to you. Now, some of you, there is something with the horseshoe showing up here. Now, this could be a lucky horseshoe. Some of you may have a horseshoe pendant, or you see that shape of a horseshoe. I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments if that is you or if that happens. But I feel like not only are you giving back, you're putting out into the universe, and that's that energy of good karma. All right. And lastly, from your guides, we have caregiver. You may be a caregiver. You have that Queen of Emotions, Queen of Cups energy, and the Ace of Cups. So this can be about you taking care of other people. This can be about transitioning and healing yourself. But it says, we are with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love that you provide to others, whether at the end of their lives, the beginning of their lives, or in the middle. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Oh, God, goodness. They're showing me a ledge. They're showing me someone standing on a ledge. Now, this is more symbolic, more figurative, but I feel like this could be where you may be helping somebody or talking somebody off of the ledge, whether it's you or someone else, or vice versa here, where I feel like someone was having a really difficult time, and you may have helped them go through a very difficult transition, or vice versa. Someone may have helped you kind of come off that edge. Now, it doesn't mean, that it certainly could be that somebody hit their rock bottom. I hope not. But I feel like I'm seeing them coming kind of back down the ledge. So you may have had to talk to someone through a difficult period of their life, or it may come up here where it's very important for you to help someone in that sense. It says caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. Yeah, this is about you filling your own cup first, which we talked about this as well. One thing that Spirit is really saying here, you are supported, you are loved, and you are not alone. And sometimes you may feel that way, especially if you are either single, or if you feel isolated maybe from your family, or you are an empty nester, or even widowed. There's just a sense of loneliness at times here. But knowing that you are not alone, because you can see the additional hands here holding your heart. So you do bring a lot of love to other people, and you are very loved and very respected as well. They're also giving me a strong M energy here. Now, your name may start with an M. Now, it could be any name, first name or last name of a loved one who's crossed over, or it could be your name that starts with an M. I almost feel it could be 2 or 3 syllables like mm-mm or mm-mm-mm. Please take that as it resonates. I feel like there could be 5 or 10 different names that I'm seeing here, so I don't want to put them all out there because that could be anyone. But if your name starts with an M, or somebody that's on your mind while you're listening, please take that as it resonates. Now, let's dive in and get a message that your higher self really wants you to look into at this time to help you move forward on your soul's journey. What do we have here for Aries? Oh, I love this. This is actually at the top of the deck, and they were showing me this many times throughout your reading, and I kept kind of going back to it. So I love that it came out here, because it says, what passion am I ready to pursue? Your passions, Aries, will continuously lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive within you? Today's soul action, write a list of the passions to which you want to give life to right now. Then journal how you can incorporate more of what you are passionate about into your daily life. Trust your soul's whispering and let your passions draw you towards your dream life. Yeah. This is a beautiful energy to help you open up that heart. Now, it doesn't mean that, passions, it doesn't mean that you have to create a living out of your passion, but if you are fortunate enough to do so, that is absolutely wonderful. Some of you may be wanting to transition to that. For others of you, this is about opening your heart up to new passion and romantic and loving interests as well. Some of you, this is just about opening up that heart chakra so much where you're filled with that grace, with that inspiration, and with that overflowing energy of love by tuning into what brings you happiness. So I love that this is showing up for you here. Now, last but not least here, let's take a look and see how you've grown during this cycle. We'll take a look at how you've grown, but also what energy that you need to keep this momentum going, to keep you on this track. Page of Voices, stay curious. Excuse me. Stay curious, Aries. Stay open, stay inquisitive, stay in that student type of energy where your mind is a sponge and you're constantly opening up to learning new things, learning new ideas, learning about yourself. Discovery is the word I just heard here. Now, pages can represent news, but in this case, I feel like this page of Voices, which is the Page of Swords, does represent you being ready for a new challenge, being curious, diving into maybe the facts, diving into the data, diving into the books. For some of you, we mentioned earlier, taking a new course, a new workshop, a new class that maybe you've never taken before, or you've always wanted to try, but you've put on the back burner, especially when it comes to your passions here. Stay open-minded and keep your eyes open to the things that do bring you happiness. Aries, if you stay in this mindset, you can't go wrong. You're going to continue to evolve. You'll continue to grow. Yes, things can be challenging, but at times, you're definitely, even though you may want to shut down hermit energy into the challenging times here, you have what it takes to continue growing, learning, and thriving. You have more than enough here is what I heard. So let's take a look and see what steps you can take to continue growing on your path. Even though we kind of just talked about that a little bit here, I want to just take a look and see what additional action steps you can take to continue growing on your journey. What do we have here? Muse of Emotions. There is the counterpart, the King of Cups. Now you have the Queen of Cups as well showing up here. Where's the Queen? Queen of Cups energy. Then the King of Cups, staying in balance, masculine, feminine energies. If you are a more masculine person, Aries, if you tend to be an action-oriented go-getter, sometimes you can be at times a little rough around the edges. It's saying be receptive, be more open to receiving love. Now, if you are more feminine and you tend to be that giver, nurturer, make sure that you are putting a little bit more of that action, that masculine go energy, into your projects, into your relationships. So balance the masculine, feminine energies out here. I feel like you will continue. You can see here that she's drinking. Finally, she's drinking and she's feeling good about what she's putting into her own cup. And it's completely kind of opposite here. She's dumping out her cup because she doesn't love what's in it. But in order for you to continue growing, drink from the cup that you put the good things into it, the good juice, which is the passion here. It's the love, it's the happiness, it's the joy, and it's also the forgiveness, because sometimes when we hang on to that resentment, bitterness, anger, forgiveness, it tends to block our growth. It tends to block us from achieving the wealth, health, love, romance, career, business. It tends to block those things, or at least prolong them. And even though we can speed up and we can prolong healing in a sense here, it's time for you to gain the closure necessary, Aries, for you to go through this transition smoothly. And I feel like you certainly will here. So I absolutely love this. Last but not least, let's get a message from the wisdom of the oracle. What do we have here for Aries? Overall here for full moon, September 10th in the sign of Pisces, and Mercury retrograde, which starts here on September 9th. So what do we have for Aries to close off the reading? Oh goodness, we literally just talked about this. Yang energy, masculine, feminine balance. Now this yang is the masculine. This yang is about you continuing to move forward here. Some of you may be very receptive again with this healing energy coming in, but it's time for you to move. It's time for movement. It's time for action. So I love that this is showing up for you. Even though retrograde can be about reflecting on priorities, it's about walking the walk, talking the talk, and balancing the both of them. Instead of you telling yourself you're going to do something, instead of telling yourself you want this closure or you want this healing or this change or this job, you're taking the action steps to do it. And that's what you're doing to balance that masculine and feminine coming together. Instead of just talking the talk or just walking the walk, you're bringing both of them together. And that's where you manifest in this 3D world. So I love this for you, Aries. I certainly hope this resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, comment, subscribe, like, and hit that bell. Thanks so much for tuning in, Aries. I'm sending you tons of love and light.